Okay, so we need to go visit Wise. But the one thing I do know is that I kind of snuck a little peek after I finished recording the last time. Apparently, we can talk to a few people. So we can talk to Sarbak and we can talk to Montag. I know I pointed them both out, but apparently, they have full conversations you can have. And, you can actually have a romance scene with Sarbak. Like, you can sleep with them if you want to. So we'll definitely get to that soon because, Montag has a flirt line. I kind of, read through it really, really fast. I just wanted to see, if it was content that, what it was, because I'm impatient. So, I had to see it all. But it was really cool. So I'm definitely excited to go to that. Is he at the Void Ship Shrine, or is he the Astropathic Chapel? Let's go to the shrine. I think that's where I'm going. Maybe not, though. Wait, I think the other guy's at the Void Ship Shrine. Let's actually have read where we need to go, and then go instead of me being my usual self and just going. Astropathic Chapel. Is that where I am right now? I don't think so. Hold on. Maybe I actually did go here. No, I think I picked the shrine.
A new challenge for me.
Hold on. Hold, please. Yes. I did go to the wrong place. Okay. The shrine I definitely want to go back to, though, because that looks really cool. I am wondering if the story will just lead you there. I do like it that so far this DLC is bringing you to, the new places on the ship naturally, which is really nice. So, this place is creepy. This music? What? What? It's so good. Okay, hi. Wise. Choir Master Wise turns towards you long before you reach him. A chill runs down your spine, as if someone were watching you from inside your own being. You summon your will and drive out the unpleasant sensation. The Choir Master smiles sadly. You shroud your mind well, your ladyship, and yet I can guess why you've come. With all due respect, I'm asking you to reconsider. Get out of my thoughts. First and last warning. The Choir Master makes a wry face, as though you have caught him doing something reprehensible. Apologies, your ladyship. It was force of habit. I swear I will never again intrude upon your mind's peace without permission. Your predecessor came to me with the same orders once. Nothing good came of it. Please believe me, Lord Captain, when I say a mountain of corpses was the least of the problems we faced that time. So you say you have performed this ritual before for Theodora? Many years ago. It was a time when Lady Theodora had become anxious. Perhaps the Lord Inquisitor's interest in her affairs adversely affected her. Shall we say, trust in her own subjects? She was expecting a betrayal, and eventually her paranoia brought her to me. I performed the ritual, but the choir ceased to exist. I remember that day, Lord Captain. When we arrived at the chapel, there was blood and human remains everywhere. But that was the least of the terrifying things we saw. What is the nature of this ritual? It takes the entire choir's power to invade such prodigious number of minds at once. I weave their voices into a chord and steer it into the murky sea of other people's souls. Together, we read tens of thousands of thoughts, emotions, and intents, looking for the thing we're after, the seed of corruption you are interested in. Why are you so worried? Lord Captain, do you know the proverb about staring too long into the abyss? What you're asking for is tantamount to plunging the entire choir into that abyss. A ritual like that will require incredible focus from each of its participants. It will take a single careless thought, a single glance in the wrong direction, for the way back to be lost. Human minds fusing into one another, vitrified organs inside still living bodies. Perverse fantasies manifesting in the flesh. Nothing will stop the horrors of the warp from spreading all over the ship in the blink of an eye. And even if I agreed, it would be impossible. I would need a second powerful telepath as a defender to shield my mind. The last time my best apprentice, Adeline, did that, but she's no longer with us. She was exceptionally talented, rivaling even myself. Now I know only one Psyker in the entire Expanse who is her equal, but he is bound to the service of one House Winterscale's planetary governors, thus unavailable. which makes your dangerous enterprise an impossibility. How bad was it? Worse than you can imagine, your ladyship. It only took a fraction of a second lingering inside another's mind for one of the astropaths to lose control of their own mind. The affliction spread down the chain like fire. No one was spared. The minds of my charges could not withstand the tension. Their consciousness were caught in a vortex of alien thoughts. The fortunate ones died at once. As for the rest... Argenta makes a sign of Aquila. Protect the souls of the stricken and take them under your wing, that your faithful servants may find peace. How did you survive? I managed to send out a call for help and did my best to contain the phantoms on my own before Lady Theodora arrived. I was the only survivor out of the entire choir. Her ladyship allowed me to spend a month in a secluded cell upon whose floor and walls I drew the most powerful protective hexagrams I knew. I was crushed. I was broken. And worst of all, I was afraid. Afraid of meeting the same fate as Adeline and my other apprentices. An astropath must never be afraid, your ladyship. One who yields to fear dies and dooms those around them. How did you replenish? Lady Theodora bombarded the Adeptus Administratum for months with requests to provide her with a new astropathic choir. In the end, new voices did fill the chapel. They were never told what happened to the previous choir, but they have inklings. And I pray to the God Emperor that they never find out the details of the tragedy. The important thing I'm interested to know is, was the ritual successful? Did you find what you were looking for? The choir master cowers as if cornered. I did find it. But the price? The price. Yes, Lady Theodora got the name she wanted, but was it worth it? The tragedy has remained a secret, hidden within the chapel. But we're a hair's breadth away from it becoming an epitaph inscribed on the ship's remains. It's fair to say my predecessor was being herself there. Please, Lord Captain, learn from her mistakes instead of committing your own. How is a ritual like that even possible? It's not heresy, but it is indeed a dangerous tool that will only yield to a mighty hand. That time, things were going all too well. The choir was many-voiced like never before. Adeline and my other talented apprentices sounded louder than the rest of the astropaths in all the expanse. We were strong and confident enough to take a bold gamble, and we lost. That is the harsh truth, your ladyship. It must not be done. I must take my leave. Huh. So what is... The choir master insists on to protect him. Wait. We have to do this? No! And who is it? He smiles, though Curtia seems ever so slightly sarcastic. You could do it, Tess. You could, but... Girl, you would die. Let's try it. He smiles with a hint of condescension. With all due respect to your unquestionable talents, I need a psyker capable of working with a specific branch of psychic knowledge, and that being telepathy. Adira? Absolutely not. This is the first time you've ever heard the choir master raise his voice. She is a witch, an abomination. She will only make the situation worse. The beast of the warp will sense her heresy-prone soul and descend upon it in droves. Heinrich? Master Van Calix is a brilliant biomancer. As far as I know, he's not particularly adept. He's right, Tessera. I know some of the fundamentals, but it isn't my primary field. You mentioned the winter scales? Master Herman is a seasoned telepath, but his lord would never part with such an incredibly valuable specialist. A sizable amount of money would be necessary. All right. We're gonna do it. Send a message. As you please. He'll be welcome. We'll welcome the news of his forthcoming release. His present lord is quite unpleasant. Winterscale is dead. It doesn't matter. We can get him out, no problem. I'll report back. All right. So that happened, but Winterscale is dead.
Follow my lead.
I kind of wish that took that into account. Mainly because, like, what's Winterscale going to do? He doesn't have a predecessor right now. Protect us from the machine spirits. Unrest. Without his gift, our sacrifices are fruitless. You can barely hear the voice from the young astropath standing very still next to the bulky mechanism. His face is frozen in a mask of despair. He hears you approach. The engine seer lowered his head lowered, does not so much as glance in your direction. What's going on? A sacred compiler is ailing your ladyship. A gloom has come over the machine spirits and they are disrupting the mechanism's operation. The 12th row of the drum is now adding incorrect symbols. The man shows you a stack of papers and you notice at once the row of squiggles in each line all end with the same glyph. We summon the servant of the Omnissiah, but the machine spirits are none too eager to heed their prayers. The esteemed engine seer is in a state of tech prayer trance and hasn't moved from that spot for a day now. He shrinks his head onto his shoulders. I had the audacity to think that the sacred compiler could be better helped by examining its parts, but who am I to question the secret knowledge of the Adeptus Mechanicus? Let's see if there's any way I can help. Okay. Well, every issue must be identified. Okay. Let's see. Logic? Is it like this stuff, I wonder? Tess!
Done.
Choir master along with the meaning for the Okay. So, oh, here.
I did fine.
Okay. Compiler out of order, so we fixed that. What else do I got, girl?
I'll lay claim to the stars.
I said it looked like there was like multiple oh. Never mind. The issue's been fixed. My goodness, am I fantastic. Here, we'll do... Ooh, girl. And who am I... Oh. Wait, who am I supposed to report to? Okay, every issue. So, yes. This...
I rise to the occasion.
Okay. Logic, faulty. Girl, you are talented.
Excellence matters.
All right. I guess we're just gonna go in a circle. That's all I got. Malfunctioning cogitator.
I did fine.
Yes, you did. I'm very proud of you. How about this one?
Done.
Thank you. Anything in here? No. What about over here? That's not anything that I need down here. Oh, talk to the astropath. Okay. We are good then. She's so talented, y'all. Look at her fixing things. Making the ship work. For a second there, I thought I went the wrong way. I was like, wait. Or not went the wrong way, but I thought like they had just all disappeared. I was like, wait, what? Your ladyship. The astropath smiles at you. The shy, awkward smiles of someone unused to smiling. The sacred mechanism is working again with no disruptions. With a trembling hand, the Psyker hands you a strip of paper with smooth rows of etched characters, this time containing no errors. The engine seer rises proudly to his feet and says in low Gothic, a language he clearly has not had much practice in. With sacred words and virtuous thoughts turned towards the God Emperor, I've been able to pacify the machine's wayward spirit. How lucky are we that the venerable tech priest is so pious and wise? The statement is true. I recommend installing 2 incense-burning units into the compartment to prevent the spirit's continued anger. The unit, Zachary Wise, will be provided with a list of minor recommendations, 142 in total, for improvements to this compartment's maintenance. Failure to implement will result in sanctions on the part. Okay. Receive the... Oh, here we go. Receive the decoded... Wait, what? Okay. So... once the sacred is repaired. Is it repaired now? Do I go talk to Zachary? Zachary? Do you have what I need? Okay. All right. So I guess we'll leave. Do a little loop-de-loop around the,
I won't tolerate weakness.
the good old-fashioned map. See if we can get ourselves where we need to go. Which is, you know, somebody who can do the things that need to be done to get the ritual done. I'm sure this ritual will be fine. I'm sure we're not all gonna die or anything like that. We're definitely all gonna die, aren't we? This is how Tess ends. Y'all, this is really how Tess ends. Doing a ritual that she really and truly should not be doing and has no idea if it'll actually work or not. Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. That's my girl. That's my girl. Okay. If we're all about to die anyways, let's go flirt with a certain person. And then that way we can... Here we go. Lord Captain herself, to what do I owe the honor? How are your sister and niece doing? She's safe and sound thanks to you. Nemi's been going on and on about how great and noble you are. You're her new idol. Meanwhile, Mia's just snorts and says she thought you'd be taller. She's trying very hard to pretend she's not impressed with the whole acquaintance thing. Life's been tough for those two. I take care of them as best I can, but at that moment I was powerless. There's only one other time I ever felt so helpless. Thank you for standing up for them. I'll never forget this, ever. Since Elsie died, they're all I have left. Who? Elsianora, my wife. She died saving the ammo depot back in Lady Theodora's time. The smoke from the IO stick mercifully obscures his, Heinrich, hiding the traces of emotion on his face. Don't mention it. He smirks. I most respectfully disagree, Lord Captain. I will, because I can. So how did you come in to be in the service of why is that sentence so hard? How did you come to be in the service of the von Valencius dynasty? Not in the usual way. My ancestors wronged yours and were appointed Inferni as a result. Hard labor, deadly risks, plenty of opportunities to atone. Those criminals have been dead for generations, but we're still serving their time. Maybe we'll find redemption one day. Remind me who you are? I'm just a humble laborer in charge of putting out fires and dealing with emergencies. Everyone calls me the Infernus Master. Guess it's because I answer for them with my life. With your life? That's right. Picture flames roaring. All the ship systems have failed, including the artificial gravity. You can't make out anything because of the red-hot debris, and you know an explosion is coming. It's a nightmare, but it's your job to evacuate the panicked crew, eliminate the cause of the fire, and get the compartment back in working order. Of course, the job description doesn't allow me to risk my life now. He smiles sadly. It's all about management these days, sending the boys and girls into the fire. It's all nonsense. If the going gets tough, I won't leave them there alone. So what kind of emergencies do you deal with? Oh, there are many. Accidents due to external factors, for example, hits from an enemy gun or collisions with hollow objects like wreckages of their ship. There are plenty of internal causes as well, from system malfunction and short circuits to problematic cargo. A couple of years ago, something blew up in the hold, nearly burned it to a crisp. And there's the sabotage. That Voigtveer snake did a lot of damage. A laborer? Why are you lounging on my bridge? The answer's simple. The simple answer is because nothing's on fire. As head of the Infernus Guild, I'm mired in the officers' routine of reports and discussions. There are several compartment upgrades and refurbishments on the agenda right now, and I have to make sure that the fire safety protocols are followed everywhere. Rest assured, I'll scurry back to the technical base to do manual labor as soon as all the paperwork is done. Aren't you being a little too relaxed in front of your Lord Captain? Perhaps because I live under the constant threat of agonizing death by fire, I have a repressed, what's the word? Self-preservation instinct? Or maybe I just relish every minute I get to breathe IO smoke instead of cinders. I humbly apologize for my manners, Lord Captain. He continues to smile without a shred of embarrassment. So here we go. I believe that this is the flirt line I had mentioned. Take the IO stick from him and draw a puff. You're an interesting person. Chuckling, the Infernus Master takes out a new IO stick and lights it. Not half as interesting as you are, Lord Captain. Yes, we did it. That's enough for now. Top tier. Top freaking tier. I'm so happy with that. All right. Back to my map. We're going to do a little jumpty jump. I don't know where we're going. I have things that I know we need to do. Ish. But I feel like we're coming back here, right? Yes. Wait, there is... What is... Nothing. Yeah, okay. We're gonna warp travel. High Factotum's voice rings with pride. Lord Captain, I have done as commanded. Everything has been prepared for your ritual for Mistress Kibellah. A select few upper deck officers are ready to leave their post to attend a formal gathering and praise your ladyship's name. We can begin at your convenience. I doubt Kibellah will enjoy this. I am confident that Mistress Kibellah will appreciate the effort, both yours and mine. What could be more representative of a Lord Captain's inner circle than a formal event in the company of the most eminent members of crew? All right, summon my illustrious officers. It will be done. I shall signal the servants to notify the invited parties immediately. Let us demonstrate just how strong our vessel's spirit of camaraderie. Oh my God. Let's go attend a gathering. This is not at all I think what Tess meant. Where are we going? It said the upper decks. Do we have upper decks? What are the upper decks? Is that new? Is that like a new area? Are we getting a new area? Or are we all going to like Can't be going to the Lord Trader. The Lord Captain. The Lord Trader. You imagine that was your title, the Rogue Trader's bedroom. Okay, so it says officer's deck. Okay, officer's deck, y'all. Let's go. I didn't even know we had a. Where is that? That's gotta be. It gotta be here now. Officer's deck. Oh my gosh, we did have an officer's deck. What? When did I get that? I probably always had it. Oh, is that where we did the stuff with Kibellah? And also the interrogations. Is that where that all happened? I think so. We've kind of been like everywhere the last few days on the ship, so it's kind of blending a small, tiny bit. Okay. Uh-huh. Yes. Okay, so this is where the interrogation took place. Okay, now I'm remembering. Kibellah stands out clearly from the... Okay, there she is. Officers and attendants, both for her favoring the full regalia of a member of the blood-spun web over formal attire for the empty space around her. The other attendees are keeping their distance as if an air of mortal danger repels them from your companion. Danrock, whose keen, worried gaze is locked on Kibellah and whose mouth is stretched into the most courteous of smiles, gives you a hurried bow. Your ladyship! Tessera, you're here. Kibellah sounds neither excited nor solemn. Her tone is indifferent as fearsome metal claws clutch a slice of fruit from one of the plates. How are you enjoying these ceremonies on the upper deck? I'm attempting to peel through the floored shell to the core, yet it continues to elude me. She looks you in the eye. What is the purpose of this ritual? Explain it to me. Gratitude. My crew is willing to give their lives for the dynasty, and this is my way of praising their service. Does one merit gratitude for doing their duty, what their duty demands? Would these people act differently without your show of appreciation? I hope that's not the case. I am too conspicuous beside the rest of your servants. A fitting mask, that is what is required for a ritual like this. I came unprepared. It will not happen again. I see you found a delicacy that's to your liking? She smiles. Food like this is impossible to come by in the lower bays. I do not know what this is, but it tastes incredible. Juice is dripping down her fingers and hand. It seems that she is the only one here who has not lost her appetite. The officers' faces have turned into pale, alarmed masks, and none of them is in a hurry to enjoy the feast. How are you? I feel wrong. Strange people, strange sounds and gestures. Kibellah lets out a sharp breath. Her gaze becomes vacant, and her hand reaches for a table knife. I am losing myself in this whirlpool. Grasping the knife, she begins to carve lines right into the expressive wooden tabletop. A nervous murmur runs through the crowd. Their tense gazes are locked on the harmless-looking, barely sharpened metal utensil in the hands of a cultist of the blood-spun web. Could it be that someone here finds the conduct of Lord Captain's guest disturbing? Smile. I see you've already mastered the art of commanding attention. You seem to be quite in your element. Watch in silence. Yes. She blinks in surprise and looks up at you. She glances back and forth, seeming privy to the meaning of your words, and then her clear, genuine laughter fills the room, startling everyone. I suppose that's true, Dom Tessera. I will not fluster your subjects further. Kibellah glances at the maze she has inscribed and sighs. Whenever I lose my threads, whenever I'm forced to astray by the outside world, I return to the labyrinth. It has all the answers. My meditations help in finding my way out. I regain myself and praise the righteousness of serving the Undying One. Gesture at her spinner's mask and regalia. Your choice of attire is not customary. I sense that the gathering was a terrible mistake. Danrock sighs heavily and looks down. Why? You have looked behind the curtain of my existence, and now I've looked behind yours. She stares at you intently. I do not think that we have heard all the words that should be spoken here today. Is it because you do not wish to say them in front of witnesses? Let's see. I grow weary of the crowd. Take a walk with me. Kibellah avoids her gaze as the two of you walk away from the other guests. She seems calm, but slight tremble run down her right hand betrays her agitation. Once you are alone, she looks straight at you. I have discerned what you are doing here. I know that your calling it a ritual was a ruse. True rituals are constant, immutable, like the cycles of the cooling machines in the ship's bowels or the shifts of the bay servants. This was spontaneous, something you prepared just for me, and then you stayed at my side the entire time. Now here you are granting me yet another request. Why is that? What do you mean, why? There is no place for idle benevolence, neither along your thread nor along mine. Kibellah's eyes almost seem to glow in the dark, yet you offer me attention and privileges that are both undeserved and unnecessary. Why? I think this might be the flirt. I've come to value your company, or I want to show you that there are other things in life besides service and duty. I think these two might. But you're my comrade. I cannot simply dismiss you and your wishes. She lowers her head, that might also have been the flirt line, and smiles at you with warmth. Here, at the top, everyone's blood still carries a craving for what my cult sees as weakness, attachment, intimacy. I understand, but I have no need for them, and yet I am grateful for the offer. She shakes herself slightly, as if throwing a familiar cloak of aloofness over her shoulders. We must now return each to our own thread. Thank you. Aww. I actually like the way that went down. I told Danrock this was a bad idea, though. Why can't Danrock ever trust me? Sir, I said that Kibellah would not like that. And he's like, no, she's gonna love it. No, she's not. That's not the way that this works, Danrock. Why can't people ever listen to the Lord Captain? Like, that sometimes is what surprises me about this world, is that, like, people sometimes just, like, will say things to the Lord Captain. Like, assuming they know better, but you're the Lord Captain, so shouldn't you always know best? Know what I mean? Okay. Quick save. Let's go. We're gonna do our good old-fashioned back and forth. I don't want to go too far from this, because once we finish the DLC, or, like, get close to it, we're gonna do Cassia's stuff, but we'll go here now. Where does this go? Like, you see that? It kind of ends. Okay. What is this? Yeah, complete. Perfect. Nothing? Tenuous piece? Oh, it's a contract. Okay. Are we going? Anything? There we go. Your ladyship, Master Haramon, succeeded his escape and has arrived on board. He's almost completed the ritual of harmonization with the rest of the choir, which has given our voices greater strength and cohesion. We have made our preparations and are awaiting your arrival. I'm not ready for this. I am not. Y'all, I think that this is a terrible idea. I think that there has got to, we should just go question the flute player. Like, my gut says it's the flute player. I don't know why. Tess is like the smartest person in the room 95% of the time. I don't know why Tess isn't like, find me the flute player. Because, like, Heinrich even said, like, he would go make note of this guy because he seems sketchy as fuck. And he did seem sketchy AF. So, like, why are we not questioning him? Why are we doing this first? Like, I feel like my ship is failing me for the fact that we are not discussing other options first. But here we go. It'll be fine. I like it that Earliette moves around the ship. Like, she's never in the same place every time you load in. It's always like something slightly different. Okay. Now. No. This is gonna be awful. Okay. But we're gonna do this together. We're gonna get out of this together. And it'll be fine in the end. Okay? As long as we survive. And a certain Infernus Master also survives. Everything else is great, you know? If we lose half the ship, we lose half the ship. Like, we've done that before. And all survived.
Victory awaits.